nuclear power plant has a meltdown somewhere in the United States. Local fallout is currently affecting a 50-mile radius. Local population affected is 1.2 million, with about 400,000 estimated casualties, and another 800,000 currently unaccounted for. The federal government activates the disaster response units, and 48 hours later, a joint task force of military, civilian, and local agencies are working around the clock to save as many lives as they can. It is scenarios such as these that leaders like myself are trained and ready to respond to, willing to expose ourselves and the members of our team to both physical and mental harm to support those affected by this disaster. But what drives leaders to take responsibility of situations such as these and act, while others shy away? I'm Darnell Mauricio, an 8-year military veteran, and I've been researching leader and purpose development for the past couple of years. And I'm here to talk to you about what I believe the answer is to that question. And the answer is simple. It's purpose, specifically a clear and well-defined sense of purpose. Purpose is that long-term, meaningful, and at times transcendent goal that encourages someone to continue to act in the face of adversity. And yet, it doesn't have to be this existential goal like saving thousands of lives. Purpose can be seen in the parent that cracks open the child's math book in the middle of the night so they can learn how to do Common Core math and help in the next assignment. Purpose can be seen in the professor who recognizes when one of their students is not acting like their usual selves and pulls them aside after class to see if everything's okay at home. Purpose can be seen in the student who stays up until midnight each night studying so they can build a better life for themselves and their family. Purpose gives a person the drive and the courage to continue to act. And yet, there remains a gap in our leader development programs where we train the knowledge, skills, and abilities of effective leadership, but fail to help leaders recognize what their purpose is. So how then do we train our leaders to understand and connect what their purpose is to their leadership? I propose that we encourage our leaders to explore, reflect, and pursue their purpose, just as we encourage them to pursue their self-development. And it starts with helping them clarify what that purpose is, through exploration and reflection. In exploration, you undergo opportunities to help you clarify what your own goals are in life. These opportunities can be things like real-world experiences that you undergo through your training or through your job, or it can be observed experiences through both your role models or characters in books and movies. When I think about exploration, I think about being fresh out of high school. And, like many of us, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I dabbled in a little bit of nursing, a little bit of EMT, a little bit of criminal justice. I even acted in a few very bad films written by my best friend. See, the whole goal with purpose exploration is to actively engage in these experiences so that way you can better recall them when you begin to reflect. In reflection, the goal is to try to garner new knowledge from your past experiences. See, reflection can do two things for you. It can act as a triggering event that encourages you to explore your identity and your purpose in life, or it can help you clarify what your values are and what your passions are in life that contribute towards your purpose. When I reflect, I think back at the opportunities and the experiences that I had that I enjoyed, like my EMT training and my nursing training, and I try to find connections between them to build out or to see what key values I try to emulate in those experiences. And the values that I pull out are wanting to help people, wanting to make people smile, wanting to bring a little bit of joy to people's lives. And yet, understanding these experiences means nothing if I can't find a way to put them into action. And so that brings us to the pursuit of purpose. Pursuing your purpose is simple. It's acting towards that purpose. You can act towards that purpose by creating these purposeful habits, which are small things you can do each day to move towards that purpose. For me, it's making sure I take an effort to smile at a person each day as I walk past them, bringing a little bit of joy to their lives. The other thing that you can do is separating your purpose into smaller, more manageable goals. This can be like the current courses that I'm taking, or making sure I take a course on trying to help people who are dealing with depression. See, pursuing one's purpose is simple. It's taking action towards that purpose. And yet, there remains another reason for our talk today. As leaders, which I believe you all are, you hold an additional responsibility, and that is to foster the purpose development in your followers. See, my own understanding of what my purpose is as a leader didn't just stem from my own self-development. I had leaders in my life who helped me clarify what my values are and helped me engage in experiences that drove me towards that purpose. As leaders, you'll have the opportunity to act as role models, mentors, and coaches. And in those opportunities, you can foster the purpose development in your followers. And you can do this by first encouraging them to explore. You can encourage them to take on that new leadership role, or that new passion project, or that new training program. You can also role model your own values and your own purpose in life, so that way they can observe it and emulate it as they start to reflect on those experiences. When I think about my path as a leader, I think about my past experience in the ROTC program. And for those of you that don't know, ROTC is a training program that trains people to enter the military as commissioned officers. In that program, you undergo a screening process to make sure you're both physically and mentally able to become an officer. And in that screening process, I disclosed that I had suicidal ideation and a suicide attempt a few years prior to joining the program. And while this was only supposed to be known by the leaders in the program, somehow this information was leaked to my fellow peers. And I began to receive anonymous emails telling me that I could never make it in the military, that I didn't have what it takes to be a military leader, that I would never get the support of the cadre, and that my own peers would never support me in completing the program. But I had one mentor who pulled me aside and encouraged me to keep going. He provided me leadership experiences like running our combat water survival training or coaching our color guard team, and he continued to develop me by providing me feedback on what it meant to be a leader. In fact, I still remember him telling me to always listen to your soldiers. Many of them have valuable experiences, and they'll take care of you if you take care of them. But this wasn't the only thing that he taught me. He did something much more valuable for me. He allowed me to reflect on what it meant to be a leader. He continued to encourage me, and he continued to ask me why. Why did I want to join the military? But more importantly, why did I want to lead? He continued to help me explore my values by exploring what I was passionate about in life. And he continued to emulate some key values that I was only able to understand as I reflected on this experience. He demonstrated that, one, he cared, but most importantly, that he saw potential in each and every person that he led. See, as a leader, you can help your followers clarify what their purpose is through asking them exploratory questions like why? Why do you want to lead? What do you value? What do you want to change in the world? And you can help them clarify their values by role modeling your own values and your own purpose. Through role modeling your own values, you can help provide them experiences and sharing your experiences that they can then observe and potentially emulate. But this isn't it. As a leader, you also hold the power to help your followers pursue their purpose. You can help them pursue their purpose by encouraging them, providing social support. Encourage them to take on that passion project. Take on that leadership role. Take on that additional training if you need it. You can also provide them feedback on what their goals are in life. You also have the power to provide them resources, like a letter of recommendation, or a signature block authorizing them to take on that new training program, that new training regimen. You can also help them find resources like funding to help them pursue their purpose. I think back to my mentor in that program, and he did a few things for me. He continued to encourage me while I was going through the program, and he showed me that I had value and potential as a leader. But most importantly, he laid the foundation for my waiver to come through so that I could complete that program and become the leader that you see in front of you today. See, I'm a product of purposeful leaders who not only understood what their purpose was as a leader, but understood how to foster that purpose development in others. It is through their mentorship, care, and role modeling that I was able to discover my own purpose as a leader. So imagine this. Imagine if we trained parents on being able to reflect and clarify how their everyday actions contribute to the positive development of their children. Or if we train professors on what questions to ask to help their students identify what their values and their purposes in life. Or if we train professors where to go to identify resources to help their followers pursue their purpose. We can train leaders to not only know how to lead, but why they lead. You see, my ultimate purpose as a leader is to foster your leader development and ultimately help you discover your purpose. And so I give you this call to action. Explore, reflect, and pursue your purpose. Identify why you lead. And as you do so, set the stage for others to do the same. Thank you.